Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Homo sapiens, tin men and bin men, baton handers and tank commanders. My name is Joe Spivey. Welcome along to the Gamesmanship podcast, the show forever at the crease of sporting insight. Now, the preemptive of you might have been expecting me to introduce my friend and colleague, Dr. George Wilson. His doctorate is still in the post. But I'm afraid he is absent this morning / afternoon / dinner time. He's maybe powdering his nose, he's maybe doing his hair. He will say that he's having sex with a member of my family, but we all know that not to be true. So you've just got me for today. So this will be an excellent litmus test as to whether you prefer me or you prefer George. If this blows up and I'm on the Andrew Marsh show next week, then obviously we know. Right, so what am I here to talk to you about today? It's not going to be very sporty. I'm not going to be too analytical. I'm not going to be delving into topics of great nuance. I am merely here for eye candy, social cachet, and of course the odd circumlocucious word. But just to get a little bit of a brief thing for this video, I sent out some. What did I do? I sent out a flag of emergency for emergency questions in order to create and perform a Q&A in this video, and quite visceral. Quite visceral. Not very nice questions, but I'm reading them anyway because I didn't get many in. But they were sort of not good. But I'll leave that down to you. They are quite comedic if you're not the target of those jokes. But we'll see. But in terms of tour analysis, Jonas Vingegaard is going to win the Tour de France by a distance. He's currently winning it by a distance. He's winning it by about 3 minutes 30 at time of recording. What time are we on now? We're just past 12 o'clock local time, GMT. So there's a flat stage, both topographically and in an entertainment fashion today in the Tour de France. It's going to be won by Jasper Philipsen, I think you'll find. There's another little nugget for you. Get down to any available bookmakers and place your bets now. When the fun stops, please do stop. Jasper Philipsen will win today by a bit, by half a bike length, I believe. There might be a Rouleurs breakaway, Christophe Laporte, etc., etc., etc. But I do not want to bore you, ladies and gentlemen, with matters of the Tour de France. I'm not going to talk about it much as I continue to droll on about it. Tadej Pogačar crashed yesterday. Jonas Vingegaard crashed yesterday. They waited for each other. It was all very touchy-feely. It was all very nice. Those two are in a little bit of a bromance, which is perfectly acceptable in the modern world. It's nice to see. There's a final time trial, 40 kilometres. There's no way on God's green earth that Tadej Pogačar will take 3 minutes 30 on a time trial that will take 40 minutes. That would be ridiculous. And here I am setting a trap for me to be absolutely rebuked by the world, for an enormous rebuttal to take place, and for me to be wholly and categorically wrong. But it's not going to happen. We all know it's not going to happen. You're all experts by this point. Even you that came for whatever, you came for golf, you came for Formula One, you came for the bag, whatever you came for. You are now experts in the Tour, and you know alongside me that Tadej Pogačar is not going to win the Tour. Jonas Vingegaard is in yellow. Dani Martinez had a nice little day yesterday. The Colombians, we've been scathing of the Colombians on this podcast. We've offered some quite disparaging remarks, but yesterday the boy did good. It was in the breakaway, and it has been revealed that since that he's been ill all Tour de France, which is probably why he's been a little subpar and hasn't come through on my stake on him. But on the topic of Colombians. A little bit of breaking news from you, from our man on the ground. We are just hearing Astana, who is obviously a cycling team. They have put out on their Twitter about Miguel Angel Lopez, who is another Colombian, who raced the Tour of Italy earlier on this year and unfortunately had to pull out early due to a crash. But regardless, they have put out a statement surrounding him. So I'm quoting this verbatim. The news that was spread in the media yesterday evening caught us by surprise, and at the moment we do not have any details. In this regard, the team decided to suspend Miguel Angel Lopez from any activity within the team until all the circumstances of the case are clarified. Now, what is the case? I hear you caterwaul through the screen. And if I just translate the tweet, it says exclusively that Miguel Angel Superman Lopez, because that is his name, as his nickname, investigated for the Maynard case, which is parenthesized because that's the name of the case. The Maynard case and an alleged crime of drug trafficking. Now, I don't want to jump the gun here, but his trainer has in fact got a very long record for supplying riders with, I'm sure you'll agree, treacherous and wholly morally repugnant performance-enhancing drugs. So it's very possible that Miguel Angel Lopez is going to spend some time in the cells, which, read into that what you will. But that's it for Tour de France news. That's it for sporting news. Cricket's going on in about an hour, but George isn't here to wax lyrical about the COVID infections in the UK rise again to nearly 4 million. Put the phone down, Joe. Yeah, George isn't here to talk about cricket, but the white ball side aren't doing very good. South Africa have taken us to church the other day, and they could well do so today. But yeah, a very good toss to win. Right, so as I say, I sent out on Instagram a little while ago for questions from you people, and you have given me also your preferred nicknames, because obviously I don't want to say, oh, John Smith said this, so that then John Smith is then attacked in the street for the horrendously heinous comments that he hailed at us. So I've asked for a nickname as well, and you've given some absolute stormers, I will admit. Right, so let's just push on right ahead with the Q&A. So first question comes in from In the Beer Barrel, pretty good, and he says simply red or black. P.S. I'd let you both slice my mangoes any day, you studs. Okay, so let's just unpack that a bit. So red or black. First of all, in the beer barrel. I don't really know how to address you apart from that, sir or madam. I need a little more context for red or black. I will be honest. I can neither excite my redness or my blackness if I don't know upon which I am judging. So red or black, bit of an odd one. On the rather more salacious topic of I'd let you slice my mangoes any day, you studs. I think that one's best off left in the bin, mate. But me and George could be around with our mango slices. Just let us know. Give us a postcode. And then the next three I've categorised for certain purposes because they involve quite offside remarks about one's sexuality, which I'm going to clear up here. So IFTK 1117 asks simply, "Is Joe gay?" Okay, we'll get on to this. And then the next question comes from Cliffhanger Paul, which is in relation to gayness. It says, I love Joe's facial expressions. I can see he's been through a lot. How many willies have whacked those hollow cheeks? Bet he can put away some phallus. And then the third comment in this cabal comes from It's Time for Dennis, all capitalised. Must love uni, you two. So this is important to note that now George is becoming embroiled in this homosexual scandal. So this isn't just me. Must love uni, you two. Such an abundance of men. I'm a fan of both your sagacious punditry, but I can't get the image of the pair of you being near constant penile tunnels. Can you put my mind at rest and either confirm or deny your status as Pumptrucks? Now the noun Pumptrucks is a new one on me, but it's welcome in the vocab of vile abuse. But anyway, yeah, just to clear up, me and George, neither of us are gay. We have witness testimony, photographic, pictorial evidence to prove otherwise. We are very, very much into girls. Okay? Far too into girls, some would say. Right. The next question comes from Scrutinous Curb Stomper 92. He says, of all the sports grounds and stadiums that you've surely attended, which is your favourite and why? Now, I've been to sort of a good amount of grounds in my time. I've been to Wembley Stadium, obviously. I've been to the MetLife Stadium in New York to watch the New York Jets play the Miami Dolphins in the NFL. Where else have I been? I've been to Headingley Cricket Ground. I've been to Old Trafford Cricket Ground. I've been to all sorts of sort of weird rugby league grounds. The KC Stadium in Hull, obviously. But by far the best is the Fox's Biscuits Stadium on the outskirts of Batley. Now that is the home of the Theatre of Dreams for rugby league's Batley Bulldogs, who I believe still play in the Championship. They may be in the League One of rugby league. I'm not too sure. But two factors for this. They have a sloping pitch, which means that you really do get the cliched game of two halves with them at their ground. So you quite often see a team score 18 to 20 points running down the hill, and then the next half, when they change ends, the next team will score 18 to 20 points as they roll down the hill again, and the game tends to end 20 all or something like that. So it's a little bit like Indian cricket in that not many people win at Batley because they're very good at playing up and downhill. But yeah, the second reason that the Fox's Biscuit Stadium gets my pick is that I think it's Sally's van. It might have been. This was I was but a boy when this happened. I was maybe 8 or 9, and I was in that stage. I was into Bovril. Not sure why. Never doesn't excite me anymore. But I was very into Bovril, and that is the best Bovril I've ever tasted from Sally's van. So if either Sally's van, the Batley Bulldogs, the Fox's Biscuit Stadium, or indeed the oleaginous brand Bovril itself would like to sponsor this podcast, that would be excellent. I do still love a Bovril occasionally on a cold winter's night. Obviously not the conditions for it, but that's the best ground scrutinous curb stomper I've ever been to. It's the Fox's Biscuit Stadium in Batley. Right, the next question comes from, can I get a toke? Again, all capitalised. He says, I discern from Joe's occasional gluttonous episodes that he is a smoker. What are his fags of choice? Now, let me put your mind at rest. Can I get a toke? I was a smoker. I am no longer a smoker. I have quit and started, as most people do. But I am currently in the liminal zone of quitting and starting again. But I currently don't smoke. But in answer to your question, I don't like that phrase, fags of choice. It's very charged, isn't it, given that the questions we've already had? But nonetheless, my fags of choice are Marlborough Gold, £14 for 20, available at all good convenience stores. Right, the next question comes from Hobsonian Hearts Heckler, and this is the long one. Strap in, champs. This says, George is clearly a keen cyclist, what with that domestic sail rail of steeds often hung behind him, and that very pinchable, gaunt, almost classic profile. Joe also seems to know a bit about the bike, that's capitalised for some reason, but screams of a shell/mollusk, formerly of prominence, now sadly disillusioned with the sport. Given that, what do you both make of the abhorrent waiting times for bikes, parts and accessories currently shackling the industry, brought on initially by COVID and subsequently exacerbated by Putin and his mob? Now, I'm glad you asked, Hobsonian Hearts Heckler. I'm glad you asked that question because I do have a little bit of industry experience, and it's a bloody nightmare because you used to get choppers coming in for a 105 chain set, for example, and it would be a week, and then it'd be down. And now it's, the best part of 4 years just to get a simple part. And we've seen similar things, just to stretch this topic out, we've seen similar things in the car industry of late. The second-hand car business is booming, much like the bike industry. So yes, if you're asking what I make of it, I think it's impractical and not ideal. So yeah, there you go. Right, a few more questions left. Who do we have? Oh, Tin Pot Model Maker 104 asks, what books are you virgins reading at the minute? Any danger of a line or two? Now, I assume from line or two he means from the book and not its pharmacological cousin. But yeah, what books are you virgins reading? George, I don't know what George is reading at the minute. Right now, currently, he's probably reading some sort of school syllabus, given that he's at work. But what am I reading right now? Again, I'm glad you asked, Tin Pot. I've brought it along with me. I've brought the book along with me. It is, drum roll, please, Saul Bellows' Seize the Day. Yeah, looks backwards to me now, but it will read perfectly to you. Any chance of a line or two? No chance of a line or two. I'm just going to keep this to myself. If you want it, go and fucking buy the thing. Right, anyway, sorry, guys. Lost it there. Absolutely lost it. Right, who else do we have? Van Shadow PLC asks, see from Joe's Insta that you two were in Brighton recently. Did you dare enter Prism? And if so, what were your strike rates? High. Terry the Chocolate Orange asks, Sterling at Chelsea. Are you asking me to confirm or deny? I mean, yes, he's at Chelsea. I assume you want my opinion on Sterling at Chelsea, and I think he's a fabulous attribute to the Blues outfit. And I can't believe Man City didn't play him more. And I think he's going to become quite the talisman for the Bridge Boys this year, upcoming year. P.S. Need any dust? That's ridiculous, mate. Just get out. That's unnecessary. DVD Sniffer asks, reckon McCullum's men will take it to South Africa in August, or is this gung-ho blue sky thinking just a result of reactionary post-crash Johnsonian politics that will inevitably end in our boys, once again, being skittled out for subpar scores of barely 3 figures? I think it's here to stay. I really do. I think our not dominance, but relative success is here to stay in the red ball cricket. So that's my answer. Yeah. Latent Baines, very nice, asks, favourite all-time Toffees away strip? Now, actually, I do have a favourite Everton all-time away strip. I once again, it was probably at the time when I was drinking Bovril at the Foxes Biscuit Stadium, but I got a rather fetching, sublime Everton away kit that was, what would you say, alarmingly pink. It was arrestingly and oppressively pink, with a sort of a dark blue band over there, and dark blue shorts and dark blue socks. Really good. I want to say 2010, but feel free to correct me on that one. Test Me Timmy asks, out of Joe, George, and the surreptitious minions that surely work behind the scenes, who at gamesmanship gets the most skirt? Now, sorry for that 1970s sexist quip, everybody. Test Me Timmy clearly lives, as I say, in the middle of the 20th century. Who gets the most skirt? I couldn't possibly answer. I'm sure we all get skirt in equal quantity, whatever skirt happens to be. Now, Earpods asks, fave word. Now, I don't know George's favourite word, but my favourite word at the moment, for its asononic qualities, is the word booths. Booths. With a TH, booths. So yeah. The next question comes from Rishi Poonsmack. Very good. That's one of my gluttonous episodes that one of the viewers kindly brought up earlier. Rishi Poonsmack, what are your respective FTPs? Set of fourth cats, if ever I've seen them. This is a cycling question, bit specific and idiosyncratic, so I will quickly answer it and say, Rishi Poonsmack, at the height of my cycling powers, my FTP was about 375 watts. That's capable for 20 minutes, so let's say 350 or 60, and I was about 68, 69 kilos. So punch that in your calculator, mate, and what you will get is a number. Now, the penultimate question, well, this is the last question, but it's in 2 parts. A coterie of Clives asks, do either of you consult the toilet roll post-wipe to ascertain how many, if any, additional anus swipes are needed, or do you trust in your digestive instinct? Now, I must say, Clives, that I assume this is some sort of adulatory group that form and send questions into minor and mediocre podcasts. So, Clives, it depends upon the heft of my poo. So if it's a big one, then I probably will consult the toilet roller, as you so adroitly put it. And then George probably does similar things, and then he follows that up with a similarly rectal question and asks, when at home or in hotels or establishments of that ilk, do yous, which obviously geographises where the hell he's from, do yous to check the towel for fecal deposits after scrubbing your newly showered cavern? I do not know, because I've just showered and there will never be poo on towels after showering. But that wraps up our Q&A for today. Bit of an odd one to start with. But yeah, I'm struggling on my own, guys. I will be honest. I really do need my friend and colleague George back with me. But as ever, my name has been Joe Spivey. What have we got coming up? There'll be a podcast on Sunday. God knows what the hell we'll be talking about. Probably the crowning of Jonas Vingegaard Tour de France champion. Bit of cricket maybe. Some internationalist stuff. Whatever. But I think 20 minutes is a good mark for this one. So this is me logging off. This has been the Gamesmanship Podcast, the show forever at the crease of sporting insight, though you wouldn't know it from this video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and goodbye.